Welcome back, folks, to the Outdoor Wilderness Wildlife Adventures, and I'm your host, Hiker Lou. And this is Lone Wolf Scouting Fatwood Haunted Adventures, episode 49. And let me explain something to you, folks. When I first got here, my intentions were to walk along the trail out in the woods here and just pick up knots as I found them. Not too long after I began recording and started walking down the path, I found these knots with like a cluster. I found like a cluster of knots separated a few feet from each other, but that just told me the story. There was a tree there at one time, and what happened to the rest of the tree, I don't know, but what was left? The last thing standing on a pine tree most likely are the knots and the core to a degree, because that core is where all the resin flowed to feed the tree. The core is the bloodline of the tree that fed the nutrients as well as all the resin. In case the branch broke off, it would send the resin to protect the branch from any further damage or insect infestation. So what I found were knots. I found one that had a core to it, but the knots were really small, so I just passed that up to get these knots here for you. And here's an example of the knot right here. This is one knot that I'm going to cut into. Here's another knot that I found on the ground. Okay, these knots, and this one is a really nice knot that I'm definitely most likely going to take home with me. Wait till you see when I cut into these knots. They're resin, the concentrations of resin that kept this thing preserved for all this time. You're going to see the magic. Well, what I'm going to do, folks, I'm going to clean up these knots, and then I'm going to come back another day and I'm going to demonstrate the power to burn for you. And hopefully I'll have that magical encounter with that deer for the third time. That's on the other side of the woods that I will be going to when I get finished doing this demonstration for you. I'm sorry I don't have my ferro rod with me. I completely forgot to bring it with me. These things happen sometimes, so it'll be in my next video when I go to do the power to burn. That'll be in my next video when I demonstrate the power to burn of these little knots that I found on the floor. Okay, stay with me, folks. Okay, welcome back, folks. And what I'm going to do, this is the first one I'm going to cut into right here. This nice size knot that I found, and you can see by the color, it was buried in the soil for so long. I couldn't tell you how long, but there it is. It's buried, and this is the knot. It's all weather beaten, but you can see by these lines that this gives an indication that it is a knot from a pine tree. Watch when I cut into it, and you're going to see the color. Besides these other two knots that I have, I'll cut into that also. I cannot do the power to burn today because I forgot to bring my ferro rod with me, and that really is disappointing. That's really disappointing for me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my hatchet and I'm going to cut into this one first to get anything that's on there. And you can see right away all of that red color. Wow, that is an amazing thing. So what I want to do is just clean it up and chop into this knot, which is the hardest part of the tree. I'm going to take this glove off. I think I have better traction with just my hand. Wow, that is an amazing thing here. Wow, this is such beautiful wood. I just want to expose everything on this knot. I can smell it from here, folks. This has been laying in the ground for ages. I mean, it could have been 100 years plus. Who really knows? Who could say? Who could say not? I could say I think so. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that beautiful fatwood. Look at the color. Look at the color of this. Look how beautiful that fatwood is. And this is just one little knot. This will last you forever. And this is what I found on the floor when I went out hiking, walking along the trail, just looking for knots laying on the ground. And this is what I got. I was fortunate enough to come across this and this. Not to mention this, but that'll be in my next video. I found this one also. So I'm going to clean this one up. This is going to be a short video, folks. I can't demonstrate the power to burn here because I don't have my ferro rod. I don't have anything to light anything up with. Don't have matches, a light, or nothing. And as you can see, this one is too. Oh, look at this beautiful wood. I just love Fatwood. I tell you, I am crazy about Fatwood. Who is it? Once you get to learn the power of Fatwood and what it could do in a survival situation, it can save your life. Get a fire lit in the rain. Let me see. What I could do probably is just use the saw, make it a lot easier. Okay, what I'm going to do, put the gloves on for this. For that little piece, I'm going to cut with the saw. Here we are. That's it. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. I'm sorry about the sound in the background. This is what we have here, folks. This is the second knot. And like I said, this video is going to be short because I neglected to put the ferro rod back where it should be. I left it somewhere else and forgot. I thought I had it with me. And it just turns out I didn't. Alright, about to finish this up too. This is going to be one short little video, folks, but I do have episode 50 from the wood that I had showed you with that little graveyard of knots with the stem intact. Now this is a Fatwood paradise here. I'm in a pine forest, old growth. Look at that. That is premium Fatwood. Premium Fatwood, folks. There we are. We got two of them cleaned up already. Like I said, this video is going by really fast. This is just to demonstrate how easily you can identify and find Fatwood if you're in a Fatwood forest. You're just not looking for trees that are standing up or laying down. You can find knots like this along the path or anywhere, laying by itself. As far as where the rest of the tree is, who can say? So there you have it, folks. There you have it. I have one more. Let's see. Just give you an idea. Look at that. I'm not going to take the knot with me. I'm going to leave it out here. I'm going to chuck it to the side. This is my little cutting board that has knots in it also. You can see the size of this one. This is from my previous video, but I'm leaving it here so I can come back and continue my video demonstrating the power of the burn. So this is what I have, folks. To recap, look at that. Two beautiful knots. Two beautiful knots that I found on the forest floor, just hiking along a path that I knew I was going to come across because I am in a pine wood old growth forest. And what are the odds of you finding something like this? The odds are in your favor. That's going to do it for this episode, folks. The Lone Wolf Scouting Fatwood Haunted Adventures, episode 49. And here we go. Here we go. To continue with the power of the burn. Now I'm going to go in search of that little baby deer to see if I can have that magical encounter once again for the third time. Hopefully, I can catch it before I leave the woods. Until then, be safe, be well, get outdoors. Get outdoors. She's coming toward me now. 15 feet away. This time I'm not moving. She came very close, within 10 feet of me. He turned her back down. I'm going to shut down the camera for a minute until she gets out in the open, and hopefully she gets a little closer before I pack up and leave. Welcome back to the Outdoor Wilderness Wildlife Adventures, folks, and this is Hiker Lou, and this is Lone Wolf Scouting Fatwood Haunted Adventures, episode 49. And here is the last segment that I want to conclude this video by presenting to you the power of the burn. So these two are the knots that I harvested earlier in the video, earlier today out in the woods, and I cut it all up. I chopped it all up, and this is my new mallet, and this is pure fatwood. This is solid wood that I cut these pieces of that I used to cut these knots, solid knots, with this and this. Those are my two tools, and this is what I'm going to start using from now on and bringing with me into the woods to actually split knots and whatever fatwood that I find, split them open to show you what's inside, the color, and I guess she recognizes my voice, you know, speaking to her, because she turned around and she came right back, and then she hung out with me, and I have that video that I'm going to present to you. Earlier in the video, I'm going to show that to you, that encounter. So what I'm going to do, let's get down to business here. I'm going to take this piece of fatwood and I'm going to make some shavings off of it from my knife right here. Get some fine shavings. Basically, I mean, this wood is so potent. Look at this. And I'm just going to take some curl shavings. I'm going to put my gloves on to be a little kinder to my hands. And I'm going to get some curl shavings off of it. This wood is totally solid, very solid wood. The hardest part of the tree is fatwood. I mean, the hardest part of the tree is the knots. Okay, now let's see what I can get on off of here for you. And I'm working with a big knife. I'm working with a really big knife, folks. And I love this. It's one of my favorite survival knives. Mind you, I'm not in the woods. I'm on a piece of concrete doing this for you. No threat of starting a fire or anything. Look at that. Now I'm going to just chop. This is another way you can actually get it off. You can chop the pieces off like this. This wood is so potent, I could smell it. Smell-o-vision. That's all I can tell you. All right, this is all I need, because I just want to conclude the video demonstrating the power of the burn. What I want to do is take some shavings, fine shavings from this piece here, all the same, from the same knot. Show you. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful fine shavings. And all this is going to take is just a spark. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to conclude the video with the power and burn. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to include this last segment showing you and demonstrating the power of the burn. Here it is. This is more than enough. And let's see how fast we can get a spark. How many tries it's going to take. Usually they say within 3 strikes, if you have everything right. Here we go. There it is, 2 strikes. And this is the power to burn right there, folks. Look at that. This could save your life. Knowing the art of knowing how to get that fire started quickly, because you never know. And this is waterproof. This happens to be waterproof. Fatwood is waterproof, and it can be lit while you're out in the rain. And that's what's incredible about this wood. That's why you could say I'm obsessed with it. And take shavings from them to demonstrate the power of the burn. Here we are. So this, here, look at these knots. Look how beautiful this is. This is a nice long one. I can take long strokes to get all the shavings off that I'm going to need to show you the power of the burn. I do have my ferro rod and striker. I usually check everything to make sure I'm carrying everything and the tools that I need, but somehow, for some reason, this slipped past my checkpoint. Now I got it. To conclude the video, that's why I'm doing it out here, not in the woods, because I want to close this. I want to conclude this video with the power to burn. So all of my videos, I like to conclude with the power to burn of the wood that I actually extracted from the woods to show you the potency and the resin that's in it, that how quickly it can light up. Like I said, it's very important. Tree identification, very important knowing how fast you could get something lit in case your life depended on it. Not playing with it for hours, or not playing with it for minutes, you know, but seconds. Seconds do count. So I have all this fatwood that I already chopped up. These are the 2 knots from the video earlier that I extracted from the woods. And not to mention that deer encounter that I had, that magical deer encounter that I had. We both startled each other, and that was funny. I wasn't recording, but for some reason when I was headed down to the other side of the woods, I actually ran into the deer. It startled her, and she startled me, and she just took off like a bat out of hell, and that was so funny. But once she slowed down and looked around, it was me. This is going to conclude the video, episode 49, with the power of the burn. These are the knots. These are all the knots from earlier that I extracted and showed you that I cleaned up. That's it, folks. Folks, that I can come out and demonstrate the power of the burn for you tonight. And now I can conclude the video. I have a beautiful video to show you, and that magical encounter with that deer. Once again, the 3rd time. 3 times you look for a deer. You understand? That deer could be anywhere in that forest. For some reason, either it heard me, knowing my footsteps, or whatever, it came to me. And we startled each other, and that was the funny part about it. It totally freaked me out. And the deer was freaked out too. But then I kind of called out to it. The deer calmed down, looked at me, and slowly came to me. You'll see it all on the video. When I'm editing it, you'll see it all on the video. You'll see it all on the video toward the end of it. And this is going to conclude that part. The power of the burn. The power of the burn, folks, is very important. Knowing how to get that fire started. This is going to conclude the video. This is Hiker with the Outdoor Wilderness Wildlife Adventures, and this is Lone Wolf Scouting Fatwood Park Adventures, episode 49. Until then, be safe, be well, stay outdoors. Stay outdoors.